More. Should have been your list. So I'm just nice.
Whenever you're ready. All good? Good evening. I'd like to call the reorganization meeting of January 2nd, 2023 to order. This meeting has been properly advertised in the Home News Tribune of January 7th, 2022, according to Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Will you please rise and join me in a moment of silence and a salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for the invocation, I would like to introduce Rabbi Baisley from the AEMT Synagogue. Rabbi, if you would join us at the podium.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, Councilmen, Assemblymen, officials. It is an honor to be with you this morning. I am always intrigued when moments like this of civil religion gets paired up with faith-based religion and how those ceremonies overlap. My family on my father's side has been in this country since before the Revolutionary War, and we fought in battles like Ticonderoga or Bunker Hill. I have a family member who fought for the Union as a captain during the Civil War. So it's always intriguing for me to see where civil and religion overlap. You know, the founders believed that there should be a clear separation of church and state, yet believed very profoundly that faith served as a moral compass for us as we lived our lives on the national arena. In fact, there are so many phrases that we have that are forever cemented in our minds as statements of freedom and independence of civil religion, that sometimes we forget how they are rooted within Scripture. For example, from the book of Leviticus, which in the Hebrew says, V'kratim dror be'eretz b'chol yeshiva. You know it as, you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land for all of its inhabitants thereof. From Leviticus 25, verse 10, you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land to all of its inhabitants. Now, just a little Hebrew lesson. The Bible chooses its Hebrew words very carefully, and the nuance that goes into them is far more precise than anything English can possess. So the word in Scripture for liberty is dror, which means an absolute freedom. The word dror means that everybody shall have this, not certain people, not selected people, but all people have freedom. And freedom in very particular ways. Freedom to live wherever they choose. Freedom from persecution. Freedom from being told you can't have this. Freedom to live the lifestyle that they choose. That no government and no religion and no order shall be imposed on the limits of what one can be. There's a sense in Judaism that we live in a world of plurality, that there are so many different ways of seeing the world that God has given us. We each have our own way of seeing the world. And if we believe that this is the only correct way of seeing the world, then we've missed out on all the other ways that are valid, that are part of God's world. Liberal or conservative, Democratic or Republican, these are just various ways of seeing the world. We need to break down the barriers that keep us from discussing policies going forward. We need to see other ways of seeing the world around us. But Judaism is also very precise in that there are limits and bounds to that we're each created with a divine spark. And the red lines that we should not cross are lines that believe that you don't have a right to exist based upon the color of our skin, based upon our sexual orientation, race, creed, religion, faith, that if my way of seeing the world means the destruction of yours, then that's something that we all have to come together, regardless of political background, to rebuke. That we need to create a land that has liberty for all, not just for some. That everybody needs to have a home here. What I also find fascinating about the biblical verse is that by proclaiming it, it doesn't make it happen immediately. It's something that we need to work for, that we need to ceaselessly and tirelessly work to make sure everyone has a place, that everybody feels accepted, that everybody not only feels accepted but is accepted with a system that works for them and not against them. It's something that we aspired to when our country was founded and still have yet to achieve. But I know we work tirelessly to try and make it happen. So my blessing for all of you today as you are being sworn in and as this session comes to order is within Scripture in the book of Numbers, which is the priestly benediction. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light and countenance be kind to you and shine through you to help enlighten this town. And may you all be blessed with peace. Peace within your borders, peace within the state, peace within this country, because you have all proclaimed liberty throughout the land and have made it a reality. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi. Now we will move on to the administration of oaths. If Phil Zambrana will join me down at the podium, we will start. So we have Phil's wife Andrea and his children, Kayla and Mia, that will hold the Bible. The Torah. So, excuse me. And now I will ask Phil to repeat after me. I, Felipe Zambrana,
I, Felipe Zambrana,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of council member
perform all the duties of council member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. No, of course not. Who's taking pictures? Oh, Russ. I'll get in and then I'll let you do it down. Okay, now just the family.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Phil. John Collins, if you would join me, please. John is joined by his family friend Randy Riley to hold the Bible. And John, if you'll repeat after me, there's what, if you want to follow along, there is there, but you could just repeat after me, too. I, John Collins,
I, John Collins,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of council member
perform all the duties of council member
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Randy, take a photo. Russ, can you take another photo?
Yeah, I would.
Thank you. Congratulations, John. Before we start the roll call, I did want to acknowledge that we did have some distinguished guests in the audience for the swearing in. So we have Commissioners Charlie Keddy and Shante Nara here from the Middlesex County Commissioners, and we also had our future Assemblyman Sterling Stanley, and they are going to so many of these reorganizations, so we thank them for coming to Milltown this evening. Thank you. Okay. So now moving on, will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Collins.
Here.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Here.
Councilman Peretti.
Here.
Councilman Potter.
Here.
Councilman Revelinsky.
Here.
And Councilman Zambrano.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. All right, so our first order of business this evening is the election of council president. I'd like to open the floor for nominations for council president for 2023.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to nominate Phil Zambrana for council president.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I will close nominations, and will the clerk please call the roll? Oh, do I have to make, is that it, maybe? Or is there another
No, we'll get the motion in a second. I'm sorry, did we have a motion in a second?
motion by?
We just have the nomination,
Oh,
right?
sorry.
So
So
that's
now-
okay.
now-
So now it's the motion to
Sorry.
appoint Phil Zambrana council president.
Sorry.
I move that we appoint Phil Zambrana council president.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilwoman O'Donnell, second by Councilman Potter. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Collins.
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky.
Aye.
And Councilman Zambrano.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Council President. All right, now it's time for the mayor's message. Good evening. Happy New Year. I hope you all enjoyed the holiday season with your family and friends. It was certainly my pleasure to see so many of you at several wonderful events here in town throughout December. Thank you for joining us at the 2023 Borough Council Reorganization Meeting. Congratulations to our returning Council President, Phil Zambrana, and welcome to our new council member, John Collins. And also thanks to our departing Councilwoman, Anna Neubauer, for her years of service to the borough. Thank you to all the council members for their enthusiasm and dedication to Milltown. The borough is very fortunate to have these dedicated public servants, as well as all of the citizens who volunteer their time to help our beloved town. As we start a new year, it's time to look back at accomplishments of 2022 and look forward to goals for 2023. I will read highlights provided by each department. The Borough of Milltown staff, their dedication and professionalism is what provides all of the local services that we've come to rely on. I'm proud to share a snapshot of all that was done this year. I know it's a lot, but, you know, I'm like the proud parent that doesn't want to leave anyone's work out, so I'm really, I thank you for your time and attention for listening to what each department has done. So I'm going to start with the police department. Throughout the 2022 calendar year, our police department successfully achieved their goals by continuing to provide professional and effective law enforcement services to the community that we serve. Throughout 2022, they answered 11,588 calls for service through the communication center. Knowing that a high-visibility traffic enforcement program limits crime, the patrol officers conducted 1,500 motor vehicle stops and conducted over 1,100 radar runs. The patrol staff responded to thousands of calls for service ranging from medical emergencies, retail crimes, property crimes, violent crimes, and many quality-of-life complaints. The Detective Bureau completed numerous criminal and narcotics investigations, resulting in numerous arrests and crimes solved. Our police officers, communications staff, administrative staff, and crossing guard staff participated in over 1,000 hours of mandatory training and professional development. This training helped to maintain the highest standards and modern practices that our accredited status mandates. The staff participated in many community outreach programs and events. Some of these included the 2022 Special Olympics Torch Run, Safe Routes to School, Letters for Santa, Special Needs Registry, and our Blue Angel program. The officers continue to raise money during 2022-23 Winter Wool for a Cure campaign. The police department looks forward to continuing the highest level of professionalism in 2023 and will continue to strive for excellence and promise to maintain the high level of public trust that they have earned. Next, the Milltown Fire Department. Many of us here on the council were fortunate enough to go see the new chief be sworn in yesterday. I would like to thank Chief Patala for his service and congratulate Ray Jolly, the new chief of the Milltown Fire Department, as well as Anthony Fama and Tony Korbenik. The full-year recap from the department will be available at the next meeting, but I'll share some highlights from 2022 that we had as of November. There were 235 incidents and 4,233 man-hours year-to-date. The department received a grant of $27,000 for new turnout gear. Working in collaboration with the Finance Committee, the Public Safety Committee, and the BA CFO, a new Chief's car was purchased this year. The fire department's commitment to the community was evident during this holiday season. They delighted Milltown by chauffeuring Santa for the tree lighting and annual town-wide tour. We thank them for all of their service and encourage anyone interested in helping our community to join the Milltown Fire Department. Next, we have the Department of Public Works. The year 2022 was a busy year for Milltown's DPW. All daily sanitation collections and monthly bulk pickups continued without interruption. The tree list continues to be updated, and tree removals continued this year in-house and by contractors. The Hague and Batain Road project was completed this year. DPW was able to re-enter an interlocal agreement with the county to have roads milled and paved. This year saw Ackerman Avenue, Blueberry Drive, and parts of Riva and Ford Avenue. DPW was also able to get deteriorating section of Washington Avenue near the railroad tracks milled and paved. And I personally thank them for that because it's a smooth ride. I was just there this morning and I thought, this feels really nice to drive over it. DPW was able to continue to provide leaf bags at no cost to residents thanks to recycling and clean community grants. And they also continue to do line painting, street sign maintenance, and pothole repair all around town. And the Department of Works wishes everyone a happy, healthy new year. And then we look forward to the new projects coming up this year. Next, we have the Tax and Utility Department. Due to the signing of several executive orders by Governor Murphy, the borough's website for pages for billing and collections has been continuously updated with information on COVID-19 ratepayer information, bill assistance, and arrearage forgiveness programs, and currently the winter termination program and anchor program. This effort in updating the website and providing information to the public resulted in numerous forgiveness payments from the state for any residents that were adversely affected by the pandemic, either through job loss or an increase of expenses due to COVID-19. Under the direction of the Department of Community Affairs, the borough was required to offer all residential utility customers the ability to sign up for a 12-month payment plan for residential utility charges that occurred during the period of March 9, 2020 through March 15, 2022. Residential customers had 30 days to agree to the plan. If the customer did not sign up for the plan within the 30-day window, the plan was void. To maintain the plan, the residential customer had to make timely payments on all current charges and pay all arrears within 30 days of the due date, or the plan was voided. After numerous phone calls to the department regarding the payment plan, and after explaining how the plan worked, only one customer signed up for the plan. It was voided 3 months later due to non-payment. For 2 years, the governor's executive orders prohibited the borough from taking residential customers' utility account to tax sale. The executive orders have finally been lifted. Although the borough consists of approximately 2,800 tax line items and 3,000 utility accounts, only 8 properties went to this year's tax sale. The tax and utility team sent out numerous delinquent notices and continued to help educate the public of the disadvantages of having a tax lien on the property. The tax sale resulted in premiums of $208,700. This was the borough's first full year using an outside payment processing vendor, PayArgo. PayArgo's service provides the conversion of utility customers' online banking payments to ACH transactions. This procedure resulted in easier processing of payments, quicker access to funds, and fewer return payments. The utility billing team has continued to work with the borough's water department to replace old water meters throughout the town, to prepare for the upgrading of the borough's billing software to help eliminate estimated water reads and provide easier accessibilities to the meters. Unfortunately, the water department has had limited access to new water meters due to supply chain shortage. The vendor inventory is low. Hopefully, this will change in the coming year to offset estimated reads during the meter shortage. The utility billing team has continually sent out postcards to all customers that have inside meters. Next, we'll move on to the recreation department. We have a new recreation director who says he's especially grateful for our team and their dedication at every level of employment within the Milltown Recreation Department. Our staff's unremitting endeavors to move forward on impactful community initiatives, commanding and innovative stewardship efforts, and meticulously facilitating improvements and maintenance standards are realized with this year's 2022 report. With the enthusiastic support of our Recreation Advisory Committee, the department continues to work towards enriching our community by providing innovative recreational offerings and by advancing advantageous strategic partnerships to enhance the stewardship of our borough lands and borough spaces. Some of this year's significant accomplishments are cited below. New pavilion roofs at Albert Avenue Park, new basketball surfaces and linings at Albert Avenue Park, new safety netting and support poles at Michelin Park, 2 new pickleball courts at Michelin Park, new field lighting at Borough Park, new digital display board in front of Borough Hall, new programs at our senior center for after-school participants, increased pool badge sales at our Borough Pool, expanded Albert Avenue summer camp to include an extended day with added programs, implemented a thorough background screening process for volunteers and youth coaches, and continued success with the online registration portal, Community Pass. And also enhanced the recreation website on the borough website. So the recreation director thanks everyone for their support and wishes everyone a happy new year. And next we have our senior center. This is a summary of what transpired in 2022. People have reincorporated the Milltown Senior Center into their daily routine of activities and events. The senior center is now thriving and filled with new seniors and new senior club members. The director is happy to say at this point they are back to life at the senior center pretty much like it was prior to the pandemic. Although many things have stayed the same, she also incorporated many changes. First and foremost is a variety of staple classes each week. They also continue to deliver Meals on Wheels for homebound seniors. It's an integral part of the commitment to provide meals for those people and a great way for them to have daily check-ins from volunteers. They've also continued the monthly checkups from the visiting nurse service. The nurse provides monitoring of all vital signs, medication review, and nutrition education, and helps disseminate information on disease prevention and regression. This has been a very popular service as it offers seniors time to talk to a healthcare professional and ask questions they might not have been able to. They also the senior center has also been bringing in the various directors from each department. They had presentations from Ralph from Public Works, the code enforcement officer, as well as presentations from Kelly in the tax department, Ron from the recreation department, and Mimi from the clerk's office. All the presentations were very well received and the feedback was very positive. The director plans to ask the directors to continue this each year so the seniors can be more informed about the latest information of what's going on in the borough. In 2022, they also had many presentations and lunch and learn workshops with hospitals and healthcare professionals on reducing stress and physician issues and skin cancer awareness, a presentation from the Milltown Rescue Squad, diabetes control, heart health, healthy eating, and reducing holiday stress. They are also thrilled to finally have a new bus driver. She has been a blessing, and her happy demeanor and willingness to go above and beyond for the seniors with a smile. They have been able to add many trips for the seniors since she started working, and they also provide rides to doctor's appointments and trips to various events and meetings. We will always try and accommodate any appointments, and they are a priority in the scheduling calendar. The senior director also has a regular rap session with the council liaison and the BA CFO, and they've provided to be very helpful to the seniors and the director. In retrospect, this has been an exciting year for the Senior Center, and it was filled with a host of programs and events to help improve the lives of our seniors and make the Milltown Senior Center the warm, friendly, informative, and caring place for seniors to attend. She is proud of the positive feedback she receives and continues to try and accommodate the ever-changing needs of our senior population. Now we have our clerk's office. Here are just a snapshot of the many organizations that go on in the clerk's office right here, including for tonight. Preparation for reorganization meeting at the beginning of each year, packets, solicitation of committee members, and processing of citizen leadership forms, receiving 43 RFPs for professional services, prepare and execute 20 professional service contracts, and maintain up-to-date insurance coverage from each individual. Annual filing with the LGCCC, reporting 24 raffle applications and licenses, 1 bingo application, and licenses are received and processed in the clerk's office on behalf of the state of New Jersey. Coordinated with the police department to license 5 record companies and get all of the equipment inspected by the police department prior to the beginning of the new year. Also sent out the letter in December for the dog license renewal. There are over 400 dog licenses, and 55 food handler licenses were sent out and prepared. Excuse me. A total of 21 bi-monthly meeting packets and agendas were prepared for each council meeting. Financial disclosure notifications for all of the board and committee members. They also handle all of the primary and general elections, maintained and solicited to fill 38 poll workers for each election, and maintained the checkbook for elections account, paying all the poll workers. They do the alcohol license, the ABC licensing for all liquor licenses in Milltown, and preparation of several one-day alcohol permits for local events throughout the year. Renewal of all the animal pet shop kennel licenses, conducted bid openings and contracts on several road projects, and grant proposals and documents for LDBG improvements in clean communities. They maintain all personnel files and process pension health benefits and terminations, and receive all applications and job postings. There's also preparation for updates of the general code codification going back to 2020, prepares all the proclamation requests throughout the year, prepares and processes 60 newspaper advertisements with the home news, and processed 27 marriage license applications and issued 1,769 death certificates for a local funeral home. Next, we'll move on to the Environmental Commission. Regularly attended monthly planning board meetings and reviewed applications to ask questions and provide feedback pertaining to environmental aspects of proposed plans. Worked with a graduate student at Rutgers to distribute kits to interested residents for testing lead in water. Co-hosted a successful Earth Day in Mill Pond Park over 2 days along with the Milltown Revitalization Committee. Events included crafting with recycled or repurposed materials, an electronic recycling opportunity, demonstrations at the Pollinator Garden, education about the New Jersey plastic bag ban, a plant giveaway, information about farming, and tours of the Schwendeman taxidermy shop. Advocated diligently in favor of protecting and rehabbing the Schwendeman home and the future location of the Borough Nature Center. Hosted a table at Milltown Day highlighting nature and encouraging passersby to compare their arm span with the wingspans of some of the largest birds on the planet. They also had their customary electronics recycling event during Milltown Day. And we're now our municipal projects. As we near the end of 2022 and look forward to 2023, we note that a number of important projects have been completed or are being implemented within the borough. The bulk of the improvements to Hague Avenue and Patain have been completed. The work was partially funded through a $555,000 NJDOT municipal grant received by the borough. The water system distribution improvements in the Chestnut Street and Highland Drive area have been completed. This work was funded through a $700,000 grant acquired by the borough from State Assembly with the assistance of Assemblyman Joe Danielson. Athletic field lighting improvements for Ball Field 2 at Gloria Bradford Park were also completed in 2022. The work was performed through a cooperative purchase organization and funded with 50% matching grant in the amount of $125,000 from the Middlesex County Open Space Fund. The design of the next phase of the water distribution improvements is underway and anticipated to be bid early in 2023. This project is funded through a $2 million fiscal recovery fund grant that was obtained by the borough. The borough has also received NJDOT grants in the amount of $556,000 and $250,000 for the improvement to West Foch Avenue and for the construction of bike paths in Albert Avenue Park, respectively. The design and bidding of these improvements are anticipated to be completed in 2023. Finally, the borough has recently been awarded a $619,450 municipal aid grant for improvements to North Brook Drive. The design of this project is also anticipated to be completed in 2023. So that's all that's been going on. But I will just wrap it up. And thank you for listening to all of that. So the mayor, I, and the council are extremely fortunate to collaborate with all of these departments and staff to implement improvements that serve the residents of Milltown. Many of the initiatives and improvements have been needed for years, such as the park improvements, road milling and paving, tree removal, water meter updates, and water distribution improvements. Numerous grants from the county and state have certainly helped with these endeavors. Thank you to the Finance Committee and to the BA CFO for implementing a capital plan to move forward with these critical infrastructure projects. They relied on feedback from each department and from the council liaisons. While we certainly accomplished a lot in 2022, we missed a few goals, and we certainly have much more to do in 2023. We are ready to start the next phase of waterline improvements. We will move forward with the South Main Street Rehabilitation Plan. We'll continue our road improvements, and most importantly, we will focus on moving forward with our designed and shovel-ready forced sewer main project. I look forward to hearing from and working with all of you throughout the year. Together, we can accomplish great things here in Milltown. Thank you very much for your attention this evening, and I wish you all the best for a happy and healthy new year. Thank you. When voting on resolutions, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and having been reviewed by the Borough Council will be enacted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Does anyone want to pull any resolution from the consent agenda? There being no requests to pull any resolutions, will the clerk please read the consent resolution?
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting. And whereas the Borough Clerk has posted a consent agenda for resolutions 002-2023 through 047-2023 for this meeting, now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, that the consent agenda previously prepared by the Borough Clerk be approved without the necessity of having the individual resolutions read by the Borough Clerk.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that these resolutions be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilman Peretti. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Collins?
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell? Aye. Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
And Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we have the mayoral appointments. May I have a motion to accept the mayoral appointments for the year 2023 as stated in Resolution 048-2023?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Collins?
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Aye.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have the council assignments made by the council president. May I have a motion to accept the working subcommittees and council assignments for the year 2023 as stated in Resolution 049-2023 and 050-2023.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Collins?
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Aye.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
Aye.
And Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to old business. Does any member of the council have any old business to bring before the council this evening? Hearing none, I will close old business. Does any member of the council have any new business to bring before us this evening? Hearing none, I will close new business and move on to audience comments. While Mr. Einbinder, while I read it, yeah, you can turn it around. Sure. The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their comments or concerns. The council will respect the public's time by refraining any comment until the speaker has finished. It should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member has a specific question they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the appropriate office. Please state your name and address for the record when you come to the podium. Seeing none, I will close audience comments and move on to council comments. Is there anything further that anyone on the council would like to bring up at this time?
Madam Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
Just wanted to welcome John Collins to the Milltown Borough Council. Looking forward to working with you this year in 2023 and the next 2 years after that. Want to thank Rabbi Philip Baisley from Anshamet Memorial Temple in New Brunswick for the invocation and the blessing tonight. Would also like to thank my wife and daughters for the continued support as a council member. Would like to thank the residents of Milltown that voted for me this year, that obviously ended up with me being elected to another term, another 3-year term. And finally, I'd like to thank the members of this council for nominating me as council president and entrusting me to be their council president for at least the next year. And that's it. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I'd like to thank all the people who participated in the electoral process, not only the ones that voted for me, but also the ones that just voted. And I'd also like to say that the purpose of government is to make the residents' lives better, and that's what I plan to do on the council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to wish all of our residents a Happy New Year, and also congratulate Council President Zambrana on his reelection, and Councilman Collins, both are flagging me from right to left on your election. I look forward to working with the both of you and the entire council, and Madam Mayor, you had a very nice mayoral speech, and we want to keep it up with that progress, so.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Hearing none, I will close council comments, and I have no final comments, other than to say thank you to all of you. I know it's, the effort to run for election and be a public servant, and I appreciate all of your time and effort. All the people on the council, as well as all the people on the committees and volunteers, so thanks to everyone, and Happy New Year. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Revelinsky, second by Councilman Collins. All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you, everyone. Take care.